Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Still a little bit sleepy, quite early in the morning. Not such a beautiful day here in Vienna today. A little bit wet, a little bit moist. It starts to rain as I'm speaking here. I think I'm gonna do another classic training vlog episode today with I want to record everything I eat and everything I train as accurately as possible. And it's gonna be a busy day. I think I'm gonna start with a breakfast smoothie now, and then I'm gonna head to the gym. Head to the gym to assess my dynamic strength and dynamic power on the Campusboard, and then I'm going to have a little bit of a coaching session. Someone's coming to be coached. So anyway, what's gonna help me with assessing what I eat exactly is this little guy here, which I bought recently. This is a kitchen scale, and it can measure weight to the gram, down to the gram, and I think it's gonna be pretty interesting to see, because usually for my recipes I always throw in after feeling, after my feeling what is right and what's not right and what's too much, what's too little. So we're gonna see how much that actually is in gram, and then we're gonna pump the whole thing into chronometer and see what the nutrient analysis says. So I would say, let's get started. Very good. Creamy from the banana and the sunflower seeds. Simply amazing. Welcome back to the climbing gym. Time for a little voiceover. I was a bit later at the climbing gym than planned, so I conducted the coaching session first. Here you can see my trainee climbing some color problems. Really talented and motivated guy, quite young as well, so I gotta say it's pretty awesome to coach people in person who are really motivated to push their climbing to the next level, especially when they didn't have kind of a structurized approach to training so far, because then there is a lot of potential for relatively quick progress, at least in my experience. And here we have someone with very tremendous upper body strength actually, and lock-off strength, really unusual for his actual level of climbing. I've never seen something like this before. So we will have a focus on technique, flexibility and finger strength to kind of balance things out a bit. So much fun trying to make it more efficient. Alright, and after the coaching I did my dynamic strength explosiveness assessment, if you want to call it like that. And since it is more intense on the fingers, I started on the small ranked Campusboard first, so like 15 minutes of warming up thoroughly. Then I took my training weight again. This time I was 65.8 kilograms, pretty damn heavy as usual. And then I started doing a simple test exercise to see how strong I am in the dynamic department. Some overreaching basically. So the pattern was 1-5-8 with one hand, then 1.5 minutes rest, then with the other hand, and 3 attempts with each hand. So 6 attempts in total. And the 1-5-8 is quite hard for me at the moment on the small ranked Campusboard, so I kind of expected to fail some attempts, but surprisingly I could execute all these overreachers without failure, and I'm actually really glad about my left hand succeeding on these, because A short while ago this was not possible, especially the left hand. There is some weakness there and I couldn't do a single one of them actually. So yeah, this exercise was a bit too easy for the assessment, because now that I managed to succeed on all these attempts, I don't really have a lot to improve on in a measurable way, if you know what I mean. However, I'll figure something out. So moving on to the max reaches. Here I simply tested out how far I can go distance-wise, how many rungs I could skip in one move basically. And I figured that 1.6 is my limit at the moment. All my 1.7 attempts failed quite miserably, but I think that 1.7 is doable actually. It feels doable, so that's the goal for the future here. And then I moved on to the bigger Campusboard with wider rungs and greater distances, and here I basically tested if I'm currently able to perform the 1.47 overreacher, which I failed on quite clearly. I feel like also because I was quite some time in this session already, and the 1.47 is only doable for me when I'm fit and fresh on the big Campusboard. However, that is another goal for the future. And here again the pattern was the same. I did 3 attempts with the left hand, 3 attempts with the right hand, and 1.5 minutes of rest in between those attempts, I think. And yeah, after this my camera died, so that's basically it for my dynamic explosiveness assessment. Let's see if I can push these results. After this quick session I also did some kind of campusing on the 45er to keep the style consistent, so to say. I think 40 minutes, just to have that mentioned for the sake of completion. But there is no footage of that because my camera died. Alright, so on the way home to the post-workout meal. Got it at home. Glad I'm at home, I want to say, fellow monkeys. I think it starts to rain in a minute outside, and it's really damp and moist outside. Anyway, pretty exhausting session, man. First the coaching, then the dynamic power assessment. After that I did also some brachiating because I still wanted to stay in that style, you know, kind of dynamic stuff. Anyway, it was a nice session. I'm pretty destroyed. And I think now I'm gonna cook some awesome post-workout meal, and after that I think I'm gonna get some work done. I skipped the hangboard session because tomorrow we are actually already heading into a little mini trip, and I hope I can get some footage from that. Stay tuned. I'm not gonna tell you right now where we are going, but I think it should be interesting. So yeah, let's see what we can do as always. 2 Brazil nuts for the selenium gains. We're simply gonna make some of this parboiled red rice, Yoda approved, in combination with some potatoes and other veggies. So we've got here 124 grams of rice. That is 396 grams of potatoes and 70 grams of carrot. And we got 127 grams of this beautiful zucchini. Beautiful. That's 200 grams of broccoli. You can see it's about 420 mils of water. Because not only is the rice going to soak up some water, but the potatoes as well. And we want to keep that equal. Let's go. Alright, so as you can see the stuff is cooking, so it's time to go in with some herbs and spices to give this blend a little bit of awesomeness. First, here we have some curry powder. Just mix it in thoroughly. And then we've got some this awesome stuff. I don't know what it's called in English, but in German it's called Bohnenkraut. And it has a pretty amazing taste. Grows en masse in the garden. So yeah, we're gonna use that a lot. It smells already pretty awesome. And finally, we're gonna go in with some chili. Give this thing a little bit of heat. Stir it in. Done. Alright, I think we are done here. Oh yeah, look at this steaming awesomeness. Can't wait to dig into that stuff. Oh, I'm in such a calorie deficit at the moment. Ooh, hot, spicy, good. By the way guys, in case someone else is interested in personal coaching and you're in the close proximity of Vienna or even attending my gym on a regular basis, simply hit me up on plantbasedclimbing@gmail.com and we can figure something out. Anyway, enough advertisement. I hope you enjoyed the video. If I smash in anything else like that, then I'm gonna add it into the nutrient analysis. The nutrient analysis will start right now after this shot. And alright, so let's analyze this here real quickly. As you can see, here is the list of everything I ate that day. We've got a whopping 2,800 calories roughly consumed for this day. 7% coming from protein, 10% coming from fat, and a whopping 83% coming from carbohydrates. When we take a look at the micronutrients, we can see that we are pretty well nourished here, especially the B vitamins, the B1, which was a bit of a weakness in the last nutrient analysis. Some kind viewer pointed out that a good source of vitamin E and B1 is actually sunflower seeds. So that's the reason why I now have sunflower seeds in my repertoire, in my fridge, to add to smoothies and stuff. And as you can see, it kind of pays off. So let's move on to lipids, minerals, and protein. As you can see, we are a little bit low in the essential fatty acids for this day. Omega-3s and omega-6 quite below the needs, but that's no problem. I'm pretty sure that that's met on some other days. What we can see on minerals is that I'm pretty low in calcium, and this is of course because I did not consume a lot of greens for this day. As you guys remember, in the previous nutrient analysis, I smashed in some stinging nettles, I think, and that's of course boosting the calcium immediately. So here, if you want your calcium, get your greens in, simple as that. And then we proceed to the protein. And we can see that we are pretty well met here in terms of essential amino acids. But obviously I'm kind of low in the protein in general for this day. So I should have added a bit more of that hemp seed powder to my smoothie. Then we would be pretty well nourished here as well. But I mean, that's no problem for one day. The next day is going to balance this out. However, let me just show you quickly here the effect of the sunflower seeds. As you can see, a lot of vitamin E there, a lot of B1, B6 as well, so it's a really good source for that stuff, and a pretty good source of copper actually. Didn't know this before. Sunflower seeds, pretty nice source of copper, and as you can see, also a lot of essential amino acids, and of course the fats, especially the omega-6 fats. And then I also want to show you the effect of a little bit of nutritional yeast, which is pretty amazing actually. When you take a look at the B vitamins here, this is only coming from the 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast which I added to my rice and veggies. Be especially careful with nutritional yeast, add it after the cooking process so that the vitamins and stuff do not get destroyed by the cooking process. And then you can pretty easily boost your B vitamin intake here, as you can see. Alright, that's it for this episode, my friends. I hope you've got something from it. Drop some likes and comments if you did. And I think I'll see you very soon with some cool videos from the trip that's coming up. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And bye.